Hello, this is Danny. Welcome to a whole nother awesome review. Today I'll be reviewing Poltergeist 1, 2, and 3. The Poltergeist series, here we go. Alright, so Poltergeist, right here. The original, the classic, directed by Tobe Hooper. Produced by Steven Spielberg. The movie came out in 1982. Huh. Wow. Yeah, anyways, this is a really good Blu-ray disc here. You got it in full 1080p. You have True HD 5.1 Dolby Digital surround sound on this. I gotta say, the surround sound on this Blu-ray sucks. It's one of the worst sounding Blu-rays I've ever seen. Tell you guys the truth here. You really gotta crank the sound on this thing. Like, you gotta crank this bad boy to like freaking, you know. Look at it. It says soundtrack remastered in Dolby Digital 5.1. That's what it's bragging about here. It comes with They Are Here, the Real World of Poltergeist Revealed documentary in 2 parts, Science of the Spirits and Communicating with the Dead. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good Blu-ray. Like, it does look good. The movie itself looks pretty good, actually, like the transfer and everything, but the sound's not that great. It's pretty mono, if you get what I mean. And this one's owned by this one's owned by Warner Brothers. And then you get on to, you know, Poltergeist 1 and 2, and they're done by, let's see here. Oh yeah, MGM. So you go from it. So this one's owned by Warner Brothers, and this one's owned by MGM. 1 and 2. And actually, MGM did a better job of the sound on Poltergeist 2 and 3. So let's get into the movies. What did I think of Poltergeist 1, 2, and 3? Alright, let's break it down here. Alright, so basically, you got your typical, you know, horror film going on here in the first original Poltergeist movie directed by Tobe Hooper. Alright, director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, a lot of people debate whether this is a Steven Spielberg movie or a Tobe Hooper movie. Well, I would say it's a Tobe Hooper movie, even though Steven Spielberg was very much involved in this movie and produced the movie and was involved in the casting and, you know, everything else. I would say this is a Tobe Hooper movie. I mean, Tobe Hooper's got 2 movies that he can really brag about, and that's Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist. So let's talk about Poltergeist. Alright, so Poltergeist. Now, for all you new age people there watching horror movies or whatever, Poltergeist is like the original, like, Insidious or whatever you want to talk about here. Like, this is the original, you know, movie with the freaking psychic that comes over and they're trying to, like, solve, like, you know, the mystery of, like, how they can, like, communicate with the dead or whatever, right? So this house gets, like, freaking, like, possessed and whatever, and, like, meat's moving around by itself. They're seeing weird visions. Things are flying around people's rooms and whatnot. And guess what happens? The little girl in the movie, Caroline. Yeah, she gets taken, Caroline, and to a you know, basically the ghost dimension, if you will, and they have to find out how to get Caroline back, basically. And that is one heck of, you know, what the hell are you gonna do type of detail. Luckily, they get a hold of some, you know, people that deal with paranormal investigations, and they get them this midget woman who can commune with the dead, who is also very kind of like eerie yet very cool at the same time. This midget woman, she is very dedicated to the Poltergeist series, and you'll notice that she shows up in 1, 2, and 3. So anyways, 1, they're trying to figure out how they're going to get her back, so they use this rope, and basically the mother goes in there to retrieve her daughter, Carol Ann, and yeah, they get her back, and you know, they save the day basically. And then at the end of the movie, you know, the dad hates TVs, so they go to a hotel and he takes the TV out basically, you know. But one of my favorite scene in this movie is definitely the dead body scene, where you see all the dead bodies coming out of the coffins and everything. I mean, it's totally freaking awesome. Like, this movie's amazing, basically. Oh, by the way, did you know that in the original Poltergeist movie, they used real dead bodies? Yeah, the bodies in those coffins are real. Now, what? They're not actually dead bodies. What they are, they're skeletons dedicated to science, basically, and they're dressed up as dead bodies. But it's kind of horrible when you think about it. They took all these dead skeletons of all these people that donated their bodies to science, and they have their bodies dressed up as dead bodies in like coffins and like this horror movie. I mean, it's horrible when you think about it, but it's such a scary sequence when you see those real dead bodies, because let's face it, real dead skeletons are scary as hell, and that's one of the scariest scenes ever caught on tape, if you ask me. So anyways, we fast forward to Poltergeist 2. Poltergeist 2 is an interesting film. We get the family back from Poltergeist 1, and you know, everything's going good here. You know, I wasn't sure if I was going to like Poltergeist 2 or not, because I knew there was one of these movies that I didn't like, you know, basically. So I'm going into this Poltergeist 2, I'm like, oh yeah, they got the original family back. Oh, this is awesome. They got the hippie dad, the hippie mom. They're all back again, you know, that was an interesting thing. You know, the annoying brother is there again, like, awesome. They got them all. MGM did it, you know? And, yeah. So, basically, that was actually a really good movie. I liked it. They had the, the Indian shaman guy, you know, trying to contact the dead and everything, and crazy stuff was going on in that movie. They had banned all the TVs in the house, and, like, Carol Ann was communicating with the dead on her toy phone or whatever, and the most creepy person in the movie was this dead guy who wore a hat. Who was a ghost, but could walk around as a person. He had these teeth, and he's like, can I come in? I just want to come in and talk to your daughter, Carol Ann. You know, I just want to talk to her. And you just like freaked out watching the movie. You're like, no, do not let that guy in. That guy is creepy as hell. Like, shit. Like, I'm gonna have nightmares about that guy. That is creepy. And I gotta say, like, you know, like on a creep factor, like 2 it has a very creepy person in it. That guy's creepy. Seriously, creep factor on that guy. And then like just the reaction of, you know, seeing Carol Ann's face when like she sees that guy, because she knows he's a ghost, you know, basically. And then you got the Indian shaman who's trying to, you know, protect her and everything, and he's doing all these like cool things with like fire and whatnot, and like making them change color and whatnot. And then you got the midget, you know, psychic back from the first movie in the movie again, and you know, it's totally awesome. I mean, Poltergeist 2, you know, was a really good movie. You know, like if I would rate was straight Poltergeist original. Now that I've seen it over again, it's weird, you go back and you rewatch these movies and it gives you a total different, idea of what you originally thought. Because I never really liked Poltergeist because of, I felt like, it was slow. But like if you watch it from beginning to end, you enjoy it a lot more. And now that I've watched, the second one all the way through, I enjoy that movie a lot more too. There's a lot of cool scenes in 2. 2's not really scary, but it has a really nice warm feeling to it. At the end, with the grandmother dying, and the grandmother being the one saving Carol Ann. When she's going into life, basically, and bringing her back. I mean, that was cool, But yeah, I mean, and then we get on to Poltergeist 3, which is the worst Poltergeist movie of them all. Poltergeist 3 takes place, I don't know, in this giant freaking building. And yeah, that's the whole movie. It's in a giant bloody damn building, And it doesn't even have the original family back. Apparently, I guess they couldn't get the freaking actors back from the freaking original movie. The only actress they could get was, the actress that played Carol Ann, And they had, unfortunately, she had died of a disease, during the making of this movie, and I think that's why they never used the original ending of the movie. The original ending was going to be like this really sweet showdown and everything, but fortunately we never got that because she died making the movie. It's really depressing. She's actually really good in this movie, but the problem with this movie is it's like, I don't know, it's just like, I don't like that it takes place in a giant building. Like, the whole movie's in a giant building, I don't like, that's what, I like the first one and the second one because they had different locations. Like the second one was, they were going underground looking for the dead bodies, basically. The first one took place in, the house and everything. And they even show you what goes on. Like, there's bodies coming out of the freaking ground on the whole street in that one, you know what I mean? And then we get to 3 and it's just in a giant freaking skyscraper freaking building, It's like, oh god. I hate movies where you're trapped in a building and have to deal with that. I mean, sometimes it works, Like, for example, maybe a movie like Child's Play. I mean, it worked really good there. But, I mean, that movie didn't just take place in a big, huge building. There was other things going on at play if you go and rewatch that movie. Or what about a movie like Candyman? That also took place in a building. But that there was more things going on there, too. They had the school scenes and everything. I think when you film a movie in a giant building and that's the whole movie, I think that's when it becomes kind of, I don't know, boring, So, Poltergeist 3, we get, the creepy old guy from 2 back with the weird teeth. And he's in it again. But he doesn't have any lines in the movie. And he's not as creepy as he was in 2. He's just an old guy with a creepy face. And what made him so creepy in the second movie was the fact that he was talking super creepy. And he would walk around like he was human, And you got none of that in the freaking sequel. And you had so many opportunities to take advantage of that in the movie. Have him walk around as a human again, because first of all, the new parents of Carol Ann don't know about that guy. So it would have been perfect to have him walk around as a creepy human old guy talking to them. That would have been a perfect opportunity, but they didn't take it. And, you know, it's like, and the movie is so confusing. It's like, you feel like you're on drugs watching this movie. Like, your brain is melting, basically. Because the plot is so stupid. There's a scene where, so like, Carol Ann is being taken care of by her aunts. So Carol Ann, she's the niece of, you know, her aunt that's taking care of her with her boyfriend or whatever. So that's why they have a whole different family dynamic going on here, basically. And yeah, I mean, it's so confusing and it's so stupid. I hate that movie. And it's weird because the guy who's the psychiatrist gets pushed in an elevator and gets murdered by Carol Ann's, I don't know, I guess, you know, I mean, Carol Ann's, you know, sister or, what was it, cousin? I'm not really sure. I mean, it gets really confusing because she has a whole new family here going on. I mean, where are the freaking original parents, you know, from 1 and 2 in here? Who are all these new characters that you brought in? Who's the damn freaking, like, psychiatrist / hypnotist who thinks that Carol Ann can hypnotize people? I mean, there's a part in the movie where the glass breaks with this cup and he's like, oh, it's Carol Ann. She hypnotized me and that's how I broke the glass. Like, who wrote this shit? Seriously. So anyways, Carol Ann's, I guess, cousin or whatever, I don't know, sister. Well, anyways, she takes her psychiatrist and I guess psychiatrist / hypnotist and pushes him in an elevator and murders him, and then she peels her face off, and then at the end of the movie, like, it's supposed to be like a dream or whatever, so then like everyone's happy and they're all like, oh, everything's good now. No. Oh god. It took me a while to figure out that, like, that Carol Ann, you know, Carol Ann was the niece of her aunt, basically. So I guess that's her aunt's daughter that does that in the movie. I think so, yeah, because she was taking care of her and, like, she wanted to, like, go party and everything and, like, go swimming and everything. I don't think her, like, what the hell happened to her original family? Why is she being taken care of by her aunt? What happened to her mom and dad? You know what the problem is? They couldn't get the original actors back. So they were like, well, let's just take, you know, the girl and let's put her in this giant building and, you know, pretend that all that stuff didn't happen. You know, it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? So Poltergeist 3 is confusing as hell. And the main villain in the movie, of course, is the creepy old guy from number 2, except he doesn't say anything, and he's just like, you know, he says a couple words in the movie, and it's like, oh god, such a stupid movie. I hate that movie so much. You know, I saw it when I was 10. I hated it when I was 10 years old. I still hate it now, and it's still confusing as hell. And they don't you know, they don't explain things very good in Poltergeist 3. I know, like, some experts on here would be like, oh, you didn't know, you know, that was blah, 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 or whatever. Like, it's so confusing because it's like, is that a dream or did that actually happen? Because As far as I'm concerned, I don't give a shit if it was a dream. It's one of those scenes in the movie where you're just like, oh, my brain. You know what I mean? Like, ah. But anyways, Poltergeist 3 sucks. Okay? Can I say that? That's alright to say it, right? But you know what sucks even more? The actress that played Carolyn, you know, she died during, you know, the making of the movie. They never really got to do the original ending of the film, which was going to be totally freaking sweet. And there was going to be like a showdown between that creepy old guy and like the family and everything, and it was going to be totally freaking awesome. You know, that's a cool thing about all the Poltergeist movies. They all have their own like cool thing at the end of the movie where like the villain comes back or the ghosts come back. Like in the original Poltergeist, we had this really awesome ending where you thought it was over, but it wasn't over. And the ghosts were coming out of the ground and everything. Like, she's like, this house is clean, but it's not clean. No, it's not. The ghosts are coming back. And then in Poltergeist 2, we had that awesome scene with the floating chainsaw, you know, on the window and everything. I mean, that was freaking awesome, right? But then in Poltergeist 3, you're like, oh, God, there's nothing going on. It's just we're just stuck in a freaking building the whole time. There's nothing scary about a freaking puddle in a freaking garage where you're like, you know, like drowning or whatever. And then they had this other scene where everything's frozen. And then, here's a good idea. Let's get these things to come out of the cars so it look like the cars are turning on. But obviously those cars are all done by like remote controls or whatever because they can't see out of the damn, you know, thing. So they cover that up pretty good. Oh, God. But we go from like it being frozen to like there's water or whatever. But there's one really good scene in Poltergeist 3 that I did enjoy special effects wise. And it's where Carol Ann's aunt is basically in this freezer with her husband, and there's water coming out of the freaking there's water coming out of the wall basically, and it's coming towards her, and they're in this freezer and they're frozen and they can't get out of their freezer and the water's coming towards them. That looked really cool. I really liked that sequence. That was sweet. But that's like my only favorite scene in the whole movie. The rest of the movie is so slow. It's so stupid. There's no build up. There's nothing. And you know, the original movie had such good music. Even the second one had better music. The third one just has nothing going for it. No soundtrack, no nothing. And it's terribly confusing. And there's so many annoying characters in it. You know, like that jock guy, you know, with the freaking hair or whatever, who wants to get all the beer or whatever. Oh, God. But, you know, Poltergeist 1 and 2. What can I say? So if I was to rate these movies out of 10, here we go. Poltergeist 1. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I would have done that a long time ago. In fact, I didn't like Poltergeist a long time ago. But finally, getting a chance to watch it all the way through and enjoy it again, I have a new appreciation for this film. So I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. The sequel, very good follow-up. Very much enjoyed it. I'm going to give this sequel a solid 7 out of 10. Now, the third movie, I'm going to give it 0 out of 10. I hate that movie. I will never watch that piece of shit again. You hear me? Poltergeist 3 sucks. It sucks. It's so stupid. Oh, God, it's such a bad movie. It's a bad movie. So anyways, that's my review of the Poltergeist series. I hope you enjoyed it. I I had to sit through all those movies. So, yeah. Poltergeist 1, 2, and 3. It's really terrible that little girl died, though, when they were making the movie and they never got to get the original ending or whatever. Maybe that's why the ending kind of sucks in the movie. It's a happy-go-lucky ending. No suspense or anything. But, hey, at least she was in the movie. But I'm giving it a 0 to 10 because I hate it. But 1 and 2, definitely check those movies out and have an awesome night. Oh yeah, and I would say this is definitely a really good deal. You can get this for like $9 right now. I mean, you can even get the original for $9. But the sound quality on this is terrible. Sound quality on these two, pretty good. So yeah, definitely pick these up. You can probably get both of these for like $20, you know. That's 3 movies for $20. That's a good deal. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying your, whatever, and Halloween's coming up and whatever. So, have an awesome night, and I hope you enjoyed this review.